Today on Suncoast Views, Selby Botanical Gardens' plans for expansion continue to concern its neighbors. We'll tell you which part of the plan has drawn concern.
Red tide continues to impact our sea life and our coastline, and unfortunately the future of many of our small businesses. We'll find out what help is available.
And it's the perfect time of year to get new fruits and vegetables on your plate. We'll get some surprise new recipes from White Picket Produce. All that and more right now on Suncoast View. Welcome to the show. Happy Monday, and a big welcome to Christine Alexander and Will Luera, two of our favorite funny people from Florida Studio Theater Improv.
Oh, this is going to be good.
Oh, yeah. Thank you very much. Very happy to be here.
Well, we are happy that you are here, and I don't know if you've noticed anything new, but it is a new week, and it's a new look for Suncoast View.
I feel very fancy. Yes. I can see you better.
Yes, we can see each other better. This is our brand new set from Mater Brothers Furniture, so we're very excited. New look, new year.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know if it's a new year. It feels like a new year. New season. How about that?
A whole new trend for us, another part of our lives.
Yes, yes, and it's nice to be sitting. I like Christine said, it's nice to be able to see our guests.
Yes,
and
yeah, because usually we were looking like that.
Like when you go get a pedicure,
you know,
you have to talk to each other.
I would be pretending I could see you, but I couldn't. Like, I know
see?
Joey's somewhere over
Will,
there.
the secret is out. We never could see each other before, and Mater Brothers Furniture has made that possible. And we will be showing you a little later on this month how we came to arrive at this setup. And it was a difficult choice because there were a lot of beautiful, beautiful
I've been
choices
over there. Wow.
Yes, and we're even ringing in the fall with our,
like this.
our little tableau down there. So very exciting. Exciting things happening also at Florida Studio Theater Improv. You just launched a new show. Tell us what it is.
Yep, we just started our new show, Out of Bounds, which is our competitive improv show. Some of our long-term fans might remember this, where we put together two teams, and they compete for the audience's points. We just had our first show this past Saturday, and we also had a preview of our upcoming Halloween show.
Oh, that's going to be good.
Yep, on October 26th, we do an improvised horror movie called We're Doomed. We did a preview of it on Saturday. People loved it, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
And that's a change for you from going from short form games to now We're Doomed. How does it work? You have one suggestion from the audience, and then you'll improvise longer?
So what happens is that the audience will give us titles of horror movies that don't yet exist. And then we will, first of all, they'll pick which one they want to see. Then they'll get to see two movie trailers and then the actual movie, and it'll be like 75 minutes long. It's a lot of fun.
Great.
And again, it's all improvised on stage.
A lot of fun, a lot of great stuff happening at Florida Studio Theater and the Improv every Saturday. You don't want to miss it. And great way for people to kind of get their feet wet for the long form by coming to see you leading up to that. So you can find out tickets and times, more information at floridastudiotheater.org. Well, we want to welcome a familiar face in our Rice's Appliance kitchen. Welcome back to Chef Mel from Whole Foods. Happy fall.
If I'd known about the table, I would have brought my chuck wagon today. But foolishly, I didn't know about the table.
I hope you really do have a chuck wagon, actually.
I bet she does.
Well, you have got some great fall offerings in the kitchen there. What are we making?
Beer and sausages. It's just going to be beer and sausages today, I'm afraid. Maybe a bit of cabbage and some apples.
Well, you just got Will very excited.
Aren't you glad you came this
I
morning?
am. I'm not going to stop looking over
Well,
there.
we can't wait to join you later on. It's funny, like the temperature drops maybe 2 degrees, and we're all like down here thinking it's fall. Oh, it's fall time. We're ready.
I'm going to put on my boots in a second.
There you go. That one good sweater in everyone's closet because it never gets worn. Well, we can't wait to join Chef Mel a little later on. Lots of things happened over the weekend. Dante's Den Top Dog was this weekend. Some of our Suncoast View friends like John Scalzi were there. Marsha Panucci, of course, of Animal Outtakes. Great event. It moved this year to the Van Wezel, but lots of great attendees, and we're looking at some of their, the four-legged.
Yes.
And one of our Suncoast View favorites and frequent guest host, Terry McKee of Nuovo Salon Group, his new dog, Rocco, won top prize.
Oh my!
So that is Terry's
Terry
Terry's
is
new
a
puppy.
proud man this morning.
Yes, yes. I said to him, there's probably no living with Rocco this morning after his success, but Rocco is his new puppy. So it's a fun event for a good cause, all for Dante's Den.
You didn't take Lulu?
I unfortunately could not be there. I was with Team Tony Foundation at Benderson Park. So
Oh, that must have been great.
it was wonderful. It was a really great event, and lots of participants. And Tony McAkron of Team Tony also debuted his the renderings for his new Cancer Connection Center. So it was a good cause, but it is that time of year where you have to choose between some
Oh,
of your favorite
yes.
events.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Lulu
4
was
things
just
in
at
a
home
day.
brushing her hair.
Yes, yeah. Lulu did not make it out, unfortunately. I did make it out without her, though. We went to see A Star Is Born, which I know a lot of people on the Suncoast did over the weekend, and we went to Cinebistro to see it, and I don't want to say too much, except I loved it.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Because I really loved that movie before and
Mm-hmm.
the play, but I'm afraid to see it again. Afraid it won't live up to my memories of it.
It will. Well, you know, it's certainly, it's not a remake. It's really kind of a new version, the same way the Barbra
Yeah.
Streisand version was not the same as the Judy Garland version. It stands well on its own. It's a beautiful movie, and someone warned me when I went in, do you have tissues? So I grabbed some from the, and you will use every single one.
Really?
I was about
You
looking
cried?
at sleeves. Yes, I was. And an ugly,
proud of
just
you.
sitting in the dark cry. So
Oh.
be ready for that if you see it. But it was a great movie, and I'm sure you're starting to hear a lot of the songs being played as the singles are being released. But really nice movie, fun thing. You probably saw it a lot on Facebook. One of the other things that we saw on Facebook a lot over the weekend, you may have noticed, you're getting a lot of notices from people afraid of Facebook scams. Did you get this over the
Oh,
weekend?
yes. It keeps saying I've been hacked.
Yes, exactly. Well, the news is you probably have not been hacked. I say probably. Some users are reporting that a cloned account is being made of them and that it's sending friend requests to all of their friends and family members. Or at least people are getting long messages warning each other of this. According to the website Snopes.com, which is always great to check out these urban legends and hoax, this all appears to be a hoax in itself. If you do believe that your account was duplicated, all you have to do is search your name to find that account. And if another account does not exist with your name, good news, you probably were not hacked.
Right.
So I think just sending the message is what has kind of
That's
been...
the hacking.
Yes, and it's not technically hacking, but it is,
Yeah.
that's
Well, it
continuing the
bothered me.
hoax.
Should I do something? But I didn't know what to do.
Yeah, don't do anything. I've already seen like the messages. Facebook put out an official message basically saying there's nothing going on, and the message itself that people are forwarding, that doesn't do anything, right? So
I've been wanting to delete Facebook off my phone for a while, so I deleted it off my phone
Oh.
and Messenger. I was like, bye.
That's the last straw.
But you're going to miss so much. You're going to miss
I
so
don't know
much.
if I will. I don't
You
know.
would not have known that he was at A Star Is Born this
That-
weekend
yeah,
and
the
that you
same.
didn't have Facebook.
We'll just have to come see each other
Actually,
in person.
he personally texts me
There you go.
everything he does.
Well, and you know what? That's a good point. You can leave it on your desktop and then go into Facebook when you need it, but not having it on your phone. I think that's a
I'm
good
gonna
idea.
see how it goes.
I might.
Oh, I have to keep
follow
up with
suit.
other people's lives. I'm too curious.
All right, well then everyone call Linda. If there's something you want her to know, let her know. All right, it is time for our first hot topic. In Selby Botanical Gardens, plans for expansion continues to concern its neighbors. Selby is holding neighborhood forums to discuss its $67 million renovation. Selby has lowered the profile of a new parking garage and new greenhouses to better mesh with its residential neighborhoods. The biggest remaining concern, Selby's blossoming popularity and the resulting traffic concerns. Homeowners simply do not want more congestion. I mean, you have to admit that is a lot of growth for that neighborhood and for a few side streets that are already a little bit congested. What do you think about the fact that Selby kind of opened it up to the public, though, to hear their plans?
That's awesome.
I think that's great, or there wouldn't be these complaints if they didn't know about it. But Selby has to fit in. It's such a beautiful thing. It shouldn't like be gawky and overgrown. It should fit in with its neighbors. So I think it's working on that. I think that parking garage looks awesome.
yeah, it does. Yeah, I hope that they are able to find a balance and a compromise where they can continue to grow, but also respect the neighborhood around. I mean, it's great that they're having these open forums, and I just hope that they listen and process and act accordingly.
And they've got to do something. It's so hard to get in Selby right now
Yeah.
because everybody else wants to go.
Yeah.
So the parking lot's full.
It has to stay. I mean, I take my niece there, and she absolutely
Oh,
loves it.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't think there's any danger of it going away,
Oh,
and I think
no.
this is another sign, the fact that it's growing so big. And kudos to them for growing as well, and for reaching out to the public. And
Right.
kind of in that same vein, neighbors are also speaking out on a new 16-story condo going up near the Hyatt Regency Sarasota. And developers are taking note. After public feedback, the scale of the building has gone from 90 units to 54. And the building has been pushed back from the road to be more pedestrian friendly. After an initial negative response, developers now say neighbors are more amenable to the project. This is a trend we've been seeing a lot lately with construction, where instead of waiting until people are angry about it, they're actually holding forums, listening to the public, and then adapting if need be.
And pushing it back from the street makes it more beautiful. It makes it more attractive. So I would think that would be one thing they would have maybe wanted to do in the beginning, but I'm glad they're doing it now.
And you remember that street? I mean, I know people are upset about Gee Whiz not being part of the Bay. The Bay's new plan, but that was a public destination. So if you're going to build a high-rise there, you need to respect that was always a public street, and you have a little bit of water view at the end of that road.
Right. Yeah, it makes me very happy that a lot of these new very public tourist places like hotels and stuff like that are making it very accessible for the folks who live here year round. I find myself going to a lot of hotels just to go to the bar, go to the restaurant, just because they've been very collaborative with the folks who live there. And I live in Gillespie Park, and I get to see I'm experiencing the growth firsthand, and to be a part of it is great.
Yes, and to feel comfortable going in the hotels, not like you're intruding because you aren't staying there.
Right.
It's really nice to feel like it's a part of our community.
Yeah, I feel like I'm invited even though I'm not staying there.
And it's kind of fancy.
It is. It is.
Fancy.
And I don't mean to be overly optimistic, but I think, if you have a large project that you're developing and then to all of a sudden stop and say, we would like to hear from the public, that is
Huge.
a big sacrifice
Yes.
that you're making, but I think it's going to pay off, especially if you can get people's feedback before things are already built. So it is. It's a nice trend to see. We want to see a little more of it, I hope. All right, well, Will, this one is really more for you since you're kind of our resident Star Wars fan today. Disney and Lucasfilm have released a first look at a Star Wars TV series. The series is called The Mandalorian, and it comes from actor and director Jon Favreau, taking a more Wild West approach following a lone gunslinger traveling the galaxy far, far away from the setting of the other stories. What's most interesting is who is involved behind the scenes, with the lead actor rumored to be Pedro Pascal. You might know him from Game of Thrones or Netflix Narcos. And also an episode will be directed by actress Bryce Dallas Howard, the daughter of Ron Howard. The series will premiere on Disney's new streaming service next year. All right, so are you interested in Star Wars on TV or on streaming rather than a movie theater?
Oh, this is going to be a big jump for me. But yeah, I think I am. A few years ago, I made the jump to the Star Wars books and the comics, sort of expanding my view on the Star Wars universe. But now to go into TV, at first I was a little apprehensive, but to hear the scope of these projects, like the fact that they're focusing on, and here's Star Wars Geek Alert, the fact that they're focusing on Boba Fett and the Mandalorians and all of that, I think is going to be very exciting for Star Wars nerds and fans like myself. So yeah, I'm all on board. I'm looking forward to this.
But there are a lot of movies that you need to see on the big screen.
Yes.
Because they're so giant and they hold your attention totally.
Right.
When I'm trying to watch something on my phone, people come by and ask me questions, and then something else happens, and then I lose my place.
Right. And I have to admit, and I've become a big fan of the Netflix-only series. They're putting out some really nice TV shows, and I think Disney now with the streaming service as well is going to be putting out some high-quality TV shows. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see too if it influences other production companies to
Yes.
do this, because the Star Wars can, and certainly Disney and Lucasfilms can be a trendsetter.
Yep.
So we'll see. We might be seeing more things coming
It's
to
more
Netflix.
and more fun to be at home.
Oh yeah.
Well, you have seen many of his art stunts before, but this past weekend, Banksy pulled one of his biggest pranks yet. It was at an art auction. His work, Girl with Balloons, sold for nearly $2 million. But right after the deal was done, the true nature of the art was revealed. The picture frame was actually a paper shredder, dragging the art through and ripping it halfway down. Banksy himself posted about how he did it and everyone's reaction, saying, "Going, going, gone." What do we think about this
Didn't
stunt?
that guy just lose $2.5 million?
The one who just bought it?
Or the
no,
one who
here's the
sold
thing.
it?
Oh, yeah.
It doubled in value after it went through the shredder. It's funny, before this happened, literally hours before, somebody asked me, who's your favorite artist in the world? And they were talking about all, like singers, actors, whatever, and I said, it's got to be Banksy. And then this came out, and it was the most Banksy thing that ever happened.
Would you like to have that in your home?
I would that like shredded
It's more
piece of
interesting
art,
now.
I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah, like I was talking to someone. They're like, well, maybe you could tape it back together and put it back in the frame. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
The Banksy statement is this piece of art hanging halfway out the frame through a shredder. I think it was brilliant.
And especially having gone, like all the coverage that it's getting now, it probably is much more valuable.
Oh, at my house, somebody'd come along and
let me fix that for you.
Yes. No, it lost its value. All right, well, we're going to check in with our mid-morning forecast. And when we come back, we're going to talk about how to stay safe on the roads against uninsured drivers.
So we'll be watching Michael lift northward into Gulf waters, and as it does that, computer models are in pretty good agreement that it lifts north toward the northern Gulf Coast. Tropical storm watch is in effect for our area waters, as well as a storm surge watch up for Tampa Bay, as well as high surf advisories, small craft advisories, and rip current advisories for our area waters as well. Best to stay out of the waters. Now, the storm itself forecast by all computer models to stay away from us, lifting up north toward the northern Gulf Coast. Nevertheless, its effects will be felt here on the Suncoast with some breezy winds over the next several days, perhaps even flirting with tropical storm force right along the immediate coastline, but generally speaking in the 10 to 20 mile an hour region along the coast. We'll look for a good chance of rainfall as well, developing this afternoon, about 60% chance. But the daytime high temperatures held down just a little bit by the cloud cover. Over the course of the next several days, it will be windy.
There's an epidemic here on the Suncoast you might not be aware of, and it's an alarming one. The Insurance Research Council reports that 27% of drivers on Florida roadways are uninsured, and an even greater number of drivers are underinsured. So to help us understand what we can do to protect ourselves, it's time for Injuries Are Personal, sponsored by Carl Reynolds Law, and I am here with attorney Carl Reynolds. Great to have you with us.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, I don't want to drive around worrying about everybody else, but how can it impact me if I am hit by one of these either under or uninsured drivers?
Well, as you indicated, the research shows that 27% of drivers don't have any insurance at all. And of the ones that do have insurance, at least a third in Florida, according to my estimation, has no bodily injury coverage. So you have a 50-50 shot of being hit by someone who has no insurance that compensates you for your injuries and for your medical bills.
Now, I'd like to think that I have good insurance. Will that keep me safe enough even if somebody hits me that isn't covered? Doesn't my insurance help me?
It depends on your coverage. To be compliant with the law, all you have to carry is what's called personal injury protection coverage. We shorten it and we call it PIP. And property damage. PIP pays for your own medical bills, but only up to $10,000 and only at 80%. And usually you can carry the deductible up to $1,000 on that. Property damage only pays for damage done to other cars when you're at fault. So there is no compensation there for pain and suffering, for bills above $10,000 for that 20% not covered by PIP.
So that's what I'm counting on that other insurance for, and if they don't have it, then financially I could have some problems.
Unless you carry what's called uninsured or underinsured motorist coverage. We
Okay,
shorten it in the industry, we call it UM.
Yeah, explain that to me. So I can have a type of coverage that protects me if someone uninsured hits me.
Correct.
All right, do I have to ask for this specifically, by the way?
You do, because most agencies or insurance companies won't offer it because there's not a high markup for it. It's really not that expensive when you look at the overall charges for your insurance coverage. You have to carry bodily injury coverage, which protects other people. But with that bodily injury coverage, you're entitled to uninsured or underinsured motorist coverage in an amount equal to what you buy in bodily injury coverage.
Okay, now when we're looking at coverage, it's always so confusing. In your mind, what should we be covering? What should we make sure is in our policy each and every time?
Well, sure. First, you have what's compliant with the law. With the law, you have to carry PIP coverage and property damage coverage. Okay. PIP is set at $10,000. That's what's required, and property damage has to be a minimum of $10,000. After that, then you have coverage that can protect you in the event you're hit by someone who has no insurance or is underinsured. And that's where you get the bodily injury and uninsured motorist coverage.
Okay.
Bodily injury covers your liability if you hurt someone else, and uninsured motorist coverage supplements any coverage that's available to from the person that hit you. So it protects you in the event you're hit by someone who has no insurance or inadequate insurance. You can also carry collision coverage, comprehensive coverage, that sort of thing.
Is there a financial minimum when it comes to things like bodily injury, uninsured motorists that we should have?
You probably ought to get as much as you can afford. I understand it's a price-sensitive topic, but I've seen too many stories of people come into me with catastrophic injuries, and there's either no insurance or only a $10,000 policy, and a trip to the hospital is going to blow that out of the water. So as much as you can afford. Most insurance companies offer it in increments of $10,000, $25,000, $50,000, $100,000, 500, a million.
I suspect that many of us are not insured properly, not because we don't want to be, but maybe because we haven't known how to be. Is that something that we can come in and get analyzed with you?
Absolutely. We offer that free of charge. We'll be happy to analyze your policy, your family's policy, your best friend's policy, anybody's policies. We'll be happy to go over it with you and talk about what coverage you have, because most people don't understand what do I have and what you might want to get in order to protect yourself and your family in the event you're an unfortunate victim of a car accident.
And it's such a hard topic because, you know, you look at the insurance bill, which is not pretty here in Florida, and you think, gosh, I want to get this as economically, you know, better for my family as possible until you need it. And then you want to make sure you have what you need. So I think it's good that we all try to understand.
And part of the problem is most people are buying their policies online now without the help of an agent, so they don't know what they're getting. They're just going with price, and they may not be protecting themselves because they're not getting any advice.
Yeah, it's an important thing to be protected with, that's for sure. All right, thank you for the lesson.
Absolutely.
We appreciate
Thanks for
it. For more information and to find out everything you can from Carl Reynolds Law, you can go to their website, injuriesarepersonal.com. We'll be right back.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate, and it's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TrueStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call. TrueStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
And even if you're on a fixed income, prices fit your budget, starting at less than 32 cents a day. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease. And with no medical tests or health questions, you cannot be turned down for any reason. Call 1-800-842-7189. Now, for a free, no-obligation quote, TrueStage offers plans to fit your budget. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TrueStage. Call 1-800-842-7189 now.
Helping families with mesothelioma is all we do. My firm has been offering a free book on mesothelioma for over 10 years. Since that time, hundreds of people with mesothelioma have trusted us to represent them. We have local offices throughout the U.S. and there is no risk to you. Mesothelioma really is all we do.
Call us at 1-800-485-6000. That's 1-800-485-6000.
Or go to mesoonlylaw.com.
It's been about a month, and I can honestly say I've seen the change in me. I went from being a depressed girl who didn't want help to this happy, caring girl who loves helping other people. I just really hope that people that went through what I went through get the help that they need, because their story is important and they are loved. Thank you so much for everything.
Coast Guard, we are taking on water.
The United States Coast Guard. They secure our ports and waterways, protect our environment, keep drugs away from our kids, and save lives. It's dangerous work. And in times of triumph or tragedy, the Coast Guard Foundation answers the call to support Coast Guard members and their families. Learn more at coastguardfoundation.org.
Watch Suncoast View weekdays at 9 a.m. on ABC 7.
Welcome back. Do you consider yourself more of an introvert or an extrovert? Well, before you answer, and I know we've got some people that consider ourselves extroverts up here, there is a new study that might prove that you are not who you think you are. This new study by scientists in the UK and Australia found that those who describe themselves as introverts were not necessarily happier being on their own than extroverted people. What matters, they say, is how you view yourself when you're alone. Do you feel free to be yourself? Do you feel loved? Do you feel effective when you're alone? You still like being around other people, but you also care less about how others think of you. It's not about how you deal with others, it's about how you deal with yourself. All right, with this new perspective, I'm going to ask you all, do you consider yourself an introvert or an extrovert?
I still consider myself, I've always considered myself an introvert, and I still do.
Really? But
Yeah.
you're so outgoing, Will.
I am. Yeah, it's true. I do like being by myself. I like alone time. I like private time. And I'm also very awkward at parties. And that's how I know I'm introverted.
That's why you're always so funny.
Is that the
because you know what to
indicator?
say.
I'm like, I'd rather just stand by the dip and nachos and just leave me alone and don't talk to me.
Christine, a lot of people know you from your big gregarious personality on stage, but
I know, I feel like I might be an introvert too, and the only reason why I ever even thought about thinking about this is I'd listened to Amy Schumer's book, and she said, I'm an introvert, and I was like, you're not an introvert. And then as I listened to her, she likes to be home and working on her stuff and doing that. I thought, I like to do that too. Because, before I go to a party, I'll be sitting in the car with my husband, we're driving, and I'm really, really quiet, just really quiet. And he's always, why are you so quiet? Saving up my energy for the performance.
Yeah.
It's just a party, but it's for me a performance.
Of being on.
Yes.
That feeling of being on.
Yeah, so it's my downtime from the being on.
Very
Linda, what about
interesting.
you?
I think I am an extrovert. I like being alone sometimes, but I like being out more, I think. And I'm always at a party, I feel very comfortable just going up to people I don't know and saying hi and introducing myself. I feel very comfortable with that. In fact, can I tell you a story?
Yeah.
I was at a wedding in New York at Trump Tower, and this guy was standing over to the side by himself, and I went over and said, oh, hi, I hope you're having a good time. I'm Linda Carson, and he said, hi, I'm Donald Trump.
Whoa.
We had a long conversation. I said, nice wedding, and he said, yeah.
It was a very detailed, long conversation. It is true. And, think about Amy Schumer's book. I remember she said in there as well that she was more comfortable having a deep conversation with someone. So if she met someone at a party and they said either that something, was going on in their family where she could really get into a conversation, she was more comfortable with that than having to make small talk constantly. And I can identify with that. Sometimes you just run out of things to say.
Right.
Yeah, well, you guys have to be funny all the time, don't you? People
there's
come
that
up on the street.
expectation.
Yeah, we're forced.
There is that expectation that we are always funny. And there are times when I'm just like, you know what, I want to talk about, food or
and people are like, no, make me laugh.
Yeah, make you laugh.
Dance.
Dance, monkey.
It's an interesting take. I guess, we'll find out as we go through if we want to have deeper conversations or if we'd rather just be alone. Well, coming up next, we're going to taste test some great fall produce right here on the Suncoast.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
My name is Haley. I have Fragile X syndrome. I work with Chartwells at Einstein's and FAU. I like being up front and interacting with students. The students are very nice and very hungry. Having a job is a big ticket for independence.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Here's something we bet you didn't know. Nearly half of all cancers can be prevented. That's right, half. Nearly 50%, mostly by making small everyday changes in your diet and controlling your weight, walking more, eating less, and eating foods that help you and your family to seriously reduce the risk of cancer. And of course, by not smoking. Visit the Cancer Prevention Together We Can website and get a free 30-day planner filled with tips, recipes, stats, and more about protecting your family. Go to prevent50.org.
All right, crew, let's get started. Sure.
Don't ignore the law. You must call 811 at least 2 to 3 days before any digging project so you can avoid hitting our essential buried utilities. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Prescription drugs aren't as bad as street drugs, right?
Weed's legal, isn't it?
Drinking is worse than smoking weed.
Isn't it? Why
is heroin so addictive?
Molly just makes you feel happy.
I have questions.
Mom?
Dad, did you ever try drugs?
They're going to ask. Be ready. Go to drugfree.org. A message from Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Watch Suncoast View weekdays at 9 a.m. on ABC 7.
View. Let's check back in the kitchen with Chef Mel from Whole Foods. And Mel, what can we see now that we're feeling our Florida fall at Whole Foods Market?
We're obviously pretending it's got colder, so we're making all the usual fally things, like lots of squash and stuff like that. But come see me at the brasserie. Breakfast, lunch and dinner.
Yes, and people can sit right there, right at the bar.
Yeah,
so
and chat to me.
Yes, which is worth the trip alone.
Thank you.
We can't wait to join you a little later on to have some fall-influenced dishes for the Suncoast. We'll see you in just a little bit. While the rest of the country is preparing for the cold winter months, Florida's growing season is just beginning, and all of our wonderful seasonal markets are setting up shop as well. So it makes it a great time of year to eat more fresh fruits and vegetables. And luckily, Katie Gallagher, operations manager of White Picket Produce, is here to share some recipes to expand our produce palette. Well, we are excited. We're really trying to feel the fall here today.
We all are. I got my Uggs out, got my sweaters out. They're still sitting in the closet.
We're going to make it happen, though.
Oh, 100%.
So, all right, what types of produce should we be on the lookout for right now? Like, what is in season right now?
Definitely all of our squashes, butternut. We have zucchini, yellow squash, pumpkin, of course. All the root vegetables, the really hardy vegetables. Kale is definitely a fall veggie.
Nice.
And all really good things. Fall's my favorite time.
Yes. All right, so for people that kind of cringed when you listed some of those vegetables, because they're not big fans, there are ways to get them into your diet and enjoy the benefits, even if you're not a huge fan or you think you're not. So you've actually prepared a little game for us.
Yes, we love games, my mom especially. So we thought of a little game. When you think of fall, you think of kind of comfort foods, and one of the most comforting foods I know of is mashed potatoes.
Yes.
So I figured out a way to kind of sneak a different veggie into your regular mashed potatoes. So we have 2 whites and 2 oranges.
Okay. So the first one that's over in front of Christine there, that bowl, that's the first one we're going to try?
Yeah, go for it.
So that'll be the one.
Yeah, try to see if you know what it is.
And it's mashed potatoes?
Mm-hmm. There's definitely potatoes in there.
Oh, yeah, man. Oh, I
That's
love this.
good, right?
So good.
Any guesses?
I got.
Will's got?
I got the sneak. There it is. Yeah, I'm guessing celery.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
that's
taste
it.
There
It's
it is.
actually the celery root.
Okay.
So it's this beautiful, gorgeous
That's
looking
a celery
thing.
root?
Yeah.
I would have never known.
And it's very dirty. You got to scrub it a lot, peel it. But it acts just like a potato when it's
Would you
cooked.
hold that up so we can see what that looks like? Because I've never seen that either. So do the stalks, obviously the stalks grow out of that?
So the stalks, this is underground, and then the stalks are above ground.
How
and
do
then
you
just
prepare that?
So you're gonna wash it, scrub it really good under cold water, and then you'll peel it with a peeler.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you might have maybe like a fist size of actual product to like cook with.
Is it more less calories? The whole thing is usable?
A lot less calories. It's like 40 calories for this whole thing, but it acts, like I said, just like a white potato. So it's gonna get soft and mushy, blended up, and you guys can't even tell.
It's delicious too, and it adds a nice extra flavor to the mashed potatoes. It reminines me almost of stuffing. It has that stuffing
It's a lot of
flavor.
fiber. It has a lot more like nutrient in it.
It's also like a little
Pass
onion.
that big bowl.
You just for the bowl.
All right, so that we're fans of the celery root, and we learned a new veggie.
So try that next one.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm interested to
I
see.
love this game.
Yeah, I know. We love to eat in the
Anything where we
morning.
can eat mashed potatoes makes us happy.
I know this one.
Yeah.
I don't have it.
What?
It's cauliflower.
Yes.
Oh, there you go.
It's America's favorite veggie right now,
This
right?
year, for
Really?
sure.
So you've heard of it being used as like pizza crust. They make it as cauliflower gnocchi, which is that pasta, rice. It's kind of being used as everything right now. So the fact that you can sneak it into mashed potatoes is even better.
Yeah.
And like I said, less calories, fiber, you're getting all of your minerals and micronutrients.
What's your
in there.
ratio?
Yeah, I was going to ask.
Ratio for the recipe?
potato and cauliflower.
Oh, I just put in like half of, like a quarter of the cauliflower to like 3 white potatoes. So I did like 3 of these russets and then like a quarter of a cauli.
Yes.
That is a nice way to kind of stretch out
Yeah.
without adding
them
more
together.
potatoes.
Yeah, you can feed more people with a little less starch.
This is my favorite game.
So orange mash, sweet potato mash is my favorite. I'm not a huge white potato mash, but I live on a sweet mash. So try that first one.
This one?
All right.
This is sweet potato. Are you mixing it with butternut squash too?
Yeah.
Oh, Christine!
She's good. She's thriving.
Chef.
You are a mashed potato expert.
Look how cute this is. See how cute this is? It's adorable. This is like a mini-sized one, but butternut squash is more like a dessert squash in my opinion. But it can definitely be savory too. You can roast it, add some, salt and pepper and eat it that way, or add some cinnamon and some syrup and make it a sweet dessert.
Maple syrup.
I think last time we came on, we made like a butternut squash dessert too, and it was so good.
And is this the same squash that we can also scoop out the strands to make spaghetti, or is that a
No,
different?
that's spaghetti squash, and that's what you thought it was.
Different
too.
variety?
Yeah,
All
that
right.
one's yellow and it's more oval shaped.
I don't think I
When you
need.
cook this one, can you eat the skin? Because it gets all like soft. I don't do it.
I don't do it, but this is a really tough squash to cook.
Yeah.
But there are some secrets and tips. You can stab it, microwave it,
Instant
makes it
pot.
easier. Instapot. I love that Instapot. I love that.
Tough
thing.
ones to cut, though. I know, like a lot
It
of
is.
chefs will warn, be very careful
Yeah.
because they're difficult to cut.
Yeah, make
All
sure you
right.
have a sharp knife for sure.
And
Last one.
our last one
Last
right
but
here,
not least.
This is very yellow.
also orange in color, which we know comes from the sweet potato.
Oh, the texture.
Really smooth.
It's very
Oh, there it
good.
is. Got it.
You got it? Do you have it? You
Came
have
in
to
right
have
at
it.
the end.
You have to have it, Joey.
I'm guessing it's carrot.
Yeah. Oh. Here we go. Yeah. So carrots, you're getting that orangey flavor. It's a lot more orange than the butternut
Yes, it is.
squash.
That's really yummy.
And it's that vitamin A that's actually making those orange colors. So the sweet potato has a lot of vitamin A, butternut squash and carrots. It's that eye vitamin.
Okay.
It's good for your eyes.
I need this.
But carrots are a spring vegetable, but they are a root vegetable, so they can be really consumed all year long. And I love roasting my carrots.
These are delicious.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
I have
it's
to
so
point
good.
out how silly I am that the answers have been sitting in front of us the entire time.
You didn't know.
As you're going through.
You didn't
Remind us
know.
quickly about White Picket Produce and what services you offer here on the Suncoast.
Yeah, so we're an organic produce delivery company. We just had our 3rd birthday, so we are loving being in Sarasota. We get as much local produce as we can. We are entering into Florida season, so we are getting more support from our local farmers. And we also give things like grass-fed beef and chicken and eggs, all that kind
Delivered
of stuff.
right to your home.
Right to your door.
How great, and congratulations on the anniversary. And we're
Thank you.
thrilled that you're still here on the Suncoast.
Me too.
Let's play the game again.
No, more potatoes. We're about to dip into some pie. For more information on White Picket Produce and their delivery service, you can visit them online at whitepicketproduce.com. Coming up next, we're going to learn how local businesses affected by red tide can get some help.
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
30. 70.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
Watch Suncoast View weekdays at 9 a.m. on ABC 7. This is an ABC 7 News Update.
Good morning, I'm Ray Collins. Today at noon, the latest on that limousine crash in Albany that killed 20 people. It's the deadliest crash in the U.S. in the past 20 years. Also, a state of emergency in the Florida Panhandle as Tropical Storm Michael heads up the Gulf. It could hit as a Category 2 hurricane. And now for the rest of the forecast, here's John Scalzi.
Yes, indeed. Michael continues to strengthen, even in an environment that's not conducive for strengthening. As it lifts northward into the northern Gulf waters, it will encounter some better environmental conditions as well as warmer waters. So there's no reason to think it won't continue to strengthen as it has its eyes set on the northern Gulf Coast. It gets close enough to us, though, that it will get rather windy around here, and we do have tropical storm watches up for our coastal areas, and we'll see more rain showers around over the next several days as well, some of them producing anywhere from 1 to 3 inches of rain. Today's rain chance holds at about 60%.
I heard about the Dotoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was and some additional cancers that were not found during the biopsy. I would recommend the Dotoli Cancer Center. As a group of human beings, they are unbelievably great.
I feel happiest when I'm out enjoying my favorite things, like spending time in my garden. That's why I need a Humana Medicare Advantage plan.
Many Humana Medicare Advantage plans cover everything from emergency care and hospital stays to doctor office visits and prescription drug coverage. In fact, last year, Humana Medicare Advantage prescription drug plan members saved an estimated $6,900 on average on their prescription costs. Humana has a large network of doctors and hospitals, plans that include vision and dental coverage, and most plans include Silver Sneakers Fitness and a rewards program. All for a $0 monthly plan premium in most areas.
Now I can be happy and healthy and keep enjoying all of my favorite things.
Your health and happiness is important to us. Call or go online now to get your free decision guide and see how a Humana Medicare Advantage plan can help keep you enjoying your favorite things.
We know the red tide algae bloom is having a massive effect on our sea life and our beaches, but we can't forget the human impact as well, as hundreds of small business owners are struggling from the reduction in tourists and customers. The city of Sarasota is reaching out a helping hand, and City Commissioner Shelley Freeland Eddy is here to explain. Oh, we're so glad to have you this morning. Thank you so much, Shelley.
Well, thank you for having me.
So we know that a lot of people are avoiding the coastline with a very good reason right now, but what impact has this had on our businesses?
It's had a significant impact on our Suncoast. As you know, we are a tourist town, and a lot of our businesses, our restaurants, our hotels are located near our Gulf, and the red tide algae bloom has really caused a tremendous impact to our business owners. And so what we are trying to do as the city of Sarasota is to point our business owners to the Small Business Association or the SBA's website for relief for business owners who can get assistance. Because of the red tide bloom, businesses have had to change their hours. Sometimes they've had to close early. Sometimes they've had to sustain significant cancellations for hoteliers, and that's affect whether or not they can make payroll for many of their employees. It's caused a big hardship for our business owners. The Small Business Association has 3 different types of grants that can help small business owners depending upon what their needs are. Some of their damage was structural, some of it was economic. And so for the larger issues, there's a grant that's called an Economic Incentive Disaster Loan Grant. It's the largest pot of money that the federal government is providing.
Now, when you say loan, this is the slowest time of year, so everything's coming together. The slowest time of year usually for our businesses, and now with the red tide problems. So a loan is something you've got to pay back, and they're already in financial straits. So how can they do this?
Well, it's true, but the thing is that the interest rates are very low, and there is a longer repayment period. Depending upon what the issues are, is the economic injury disaster loan can loan amounts of up to $2 million.
Oh.
So for individuals that are larger businesses that have several locations, they may need to borrow a larger amount, but they can repay it over a longer period of time with a lower interest rate. That was done to help these businesses kind of get back on their feet. Then there are smaller loans. There's one loan that's called kind of a bridge loan assistance program. There's another one that's a short-term compensation loan program. Those are for around 18 months. you can borrow up to $5,000. That's kind of a payroll assistance mechanism. And so those have lower interest rates as well. So it's not a one-size-fits-all, but we do have a local office here in Sarasota. They'll meet with you, they'll answer questions, figure out what the best loan product is for you.
That sounds like a very good idea, because I listen to all of this and I say, I wouldn't know where to start. And I'd be afraid I'd make a mistake and get the wrong loan. So you have somebody to work with people?
Yes, there is a facility that's here in Sarasota, and it's off of Lockwood Ridge, and the address is 4430 South Lockwood Ridge Road. They're here in Sarasota. They have business hours Monday through Friday, and they have receptionists and representatives that are on site to help individuals determine what's the best product for me, what can I do. And also, this doesn't replace the grants that are available from FEMA. As a result of disaster assistance, FEMA is providing blocks of funding, but for the red tide, which is a separate issue but still is having economic consequences, the SBA is offering these products. So there are plenty of options, and what we're asking folks to do is, if they don't get any of this, they can go to our website. We have a spot on the webpage that is specifically located and directed to red tide assistance. All of the phone numbers are on the website, and there is a telephone number and information, and individuals are here in our community to help walk people through it.
Meanwhile, the rest of us need to go out and go to these places, eat at these places, shop at these places, and really do our part to help.
And that's the big thing. We just want to make sure that we support our local businesses.
Yes, we do. And to get more information about the small business assistance, go to the city website at sarasotafl.gov. Next, a classic toy could get a surprising makeover. We'll tell you more.
Your last chance for 2018 Honda Accords on sale is now during our model year-end sale. Drive new Accords for just $249 a month. Get an Accord, the North American car of the year, for less than the competition. With more standard features than Camry, Honda sensing, multi-angle camera, turbocharged engine, and more. New Accords, just $249 a month. Your last chance for Accords, all on sale this week at your local Honda dealer.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance through TrueStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call. TrueStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
And even if you're on a fixed income, prices fit your budget, starting at less than 32 cents a day. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease. And with no medical tests or health questions, you cannot be turned down for any reason. Call 1-800-842-7189. Now, for a free, no-obligation quote, TrueStage offers plans to fit your budget. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance through TrueStage. Call 1-800-842-7189 now.
Once you get atrial fibrillation, you need to have a very close relationship with your primary doctor. Prevention is the whole ball game here, because once you have a stroke, you can't undo it. A year without stroke, it's a year that you can enjoy doing the things that you've worked all your life to finally get to do. You took care of yourself. You did what is necessary for you to be around one more year. And then next year, we'll celebrate one more year without a stroke.
There was this big bruise on my friend's face. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to think her own nephew could have hit her.
I didn't want to see it. My mother's bank account was emptied, and a caregiver had taken control of it.
I didn't want to see it. My father's refrigerator, there was hardly anything in it. That's unusual for him.
It's tough to see that a senior citizen is being abused, physically, emotionally, sexually, or financially. Elder abuse is a crime.
So see the signs, stop the crimes.
I witnessed him have 2 heart attacks in ICU. He went through seizures.
We'd much rather have Aaron like this than dead. A lot of parents don't have that luxury.
He can't talk. He can't walk. This is a condition Aaron will live with for the rest of his life because he abused prescription pills.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Hi, I'm Janelle Hale, founder and CEO of the National Breast Cancer Foundation. No one should face breast cancer alone. When I was diagnosed 36 years ago, there was no internet, and I had to make a decision with little information. Early detection saved my life. It could save yours too. To learn what every woman needs to know about breast cancer, visit nbcf.org/hope.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com for Chef Judy's favorite recipes, restaurant guide, and more. Go to mysuncoast.com/dining.
Welcome back. Here's something fun in entertainment news. Margot Robbie could soon be a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. The actress is in talks to play the famous doll on screen. Yes, the Australian actress could step into the role that was previously going to Amy Schumer, and then reportedly it was supposed to be Anne Hathaway. Is Margot Robbie playing a Malibu Beach Barbie, a Totally Hair Barbie? We will just have to wait and see. Any interest? Will you see this?
I am going to go ahead and say yes.
Well, you have two little girls.
Is it for kids or is it for adults?
I would imagine it's for kids. With Amy Schumer attached, though, before, it does make me wonder, is it a comic take?
Right.
But I don't think so. I think that it's more of a kid's movie.
Oh,
I'm
my
pretty sure.
5-year-old granddaughter loves Barbie.
Yeah, mine too, and I've gotten really into the Barbie cartoons. It's funny because it's like they're cartoons based around the toys themselves.
Right.
Anyways, it's hilarious. Too much information.
No, I love
I'm
it.
looking forward to
Well,
it.
as the dad of two young girls, we're not surprised. Linda, did you play with? Did Barbies influence you, depending on what their career was or what type of Barbie it was?
Yeah, and I played like they were career girls. So mine were going off for jobs and teaching school, and of course the girls were always the bosses because there weren't many kids, but we had a lot of Barbies.
Christine, were you a Barbie girl?
No.
No?
I wasn't. I played in trees. And I think I rode my bike without my shirt on for a long time. I look like a boy.
They don't have a Barbie for that, I'm sure, but they have given Barbie all different careers. So it'll be cool to see that she's now going to influence another generation of young girls.
Yeah.
If
And
my
her
niece wants to
adventures
go, I
help
will
the
go.
young girls, I think. You can live out a lot of things through Barbie.
Yeah. So she's an astronaut. I mean, it's nice to see, as trivial as a toy is, it really can influence.
That's why I like this TV show, because it acknowledges that she has 48 different careers, and she does them all. It's a great cartoon.
Oh, great. All right, well, on Will's recommendation.
Hard to live up to.
All right, well, speaking of another successful, strong woman, we are going to head into the kitchen and join Chef Mel when we come back.
This is an ABC 7 News Update.
Good morning, I'm Jess Dowdrick. Coming up at noon, Brett Kavanaugh is sworn in as Supreme Court Justice. We'll tell you when he starts the new job. And a Facebook hoax that's bombarding users' inboxes. We'll tell you what you need to do if you've been scammed. Now let's check on the first alert forecast with meteorologist John Skalski.
Already some of the showers revolving around Michael are beginning to move into our area. Those showers, as well as a strong east wind bringing in showers from the Atlantic, provide us with about a 60% rain chance today. As Michael continues to move north into the Gulf waters, we'll watch our wind speeds begin to increase a little bit. Tropical storm watches are up for our area waters, as well as small craft advisories, high surf advisories, and rip current advisories. Obviously, best thing to do for the next several days is stay in port. East wind coming in at about 20 knots will bring you choppy conditions today with 2 to 4 foot seas. Our rain chance today holds at about 60%, even though it will go up tomorrow.
I heard about the Detoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Detoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was. I can tell you that you will not find a finer, more professional team of clinicians anywhere in the world.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
Recovery from mental and substance use disorders is real.
You can recover.
It's possible. It happens every day.
Never give up on yourself.
Discover hope and help.
The world is a beautiful place again.
Join the Voices for Recovery. For confidential information for mental and substance use disorders, call 1-800-662-HELP.
Welcome back. We're in Rice's Appliance Kitchen with Chef Mel from Whole Foods. Wow, what are you making there, Chef Mel?
We're doing a really, really seasonable Oktoberfest kind of delicious brat onion red cabbage affair. We've started by caramelising the onions with caraway seeds. Which you're familiar, that real rye bread tasty kind of thing, and fennel seeds. They're both in there. Totally caramelise the onions down, good to go. Into that we're going to add red cabbage.
Wow. All right.
People are a bit scared about red cabbage in terms of what to do with it. And my thing is always just like, either make a slaw or wilt it down. It's always going to wilt down really, really quickly.
Okay.
It's as cheap as dirt. All the cabbages are, you know what I mean? There's no excuse not to include vegetables in your diet if you grab the cheap ones.
Does that taste just like green cabbage?
Yeah, absolutely. It's gonna, and it'll wilt down really quickly, and it'll take on the flavours of the onions in there and the bratwurst in there, and that'll all kind of come together. And you can tell as it cooks, it's going to change colour. It's going to lose a little bit of its vivid purpleness and cook down a little bit, and you'll lose a little tiny bit of that colour. Once this starts getting down and starting to like slowly kind of caramelise, into that you're going to add a ton of Granny Smith apples.
Oh my goodness. Oh, this is going to be good.
Yeah, and the thing with the apples is you really don't want to like cook them too much. They want to go right at the end so that like they really, really maintain their integrity, and like, you know, it just is, it's not like a stewy dish. We want everything to be really bright. We want to keep our cabbage vibrant. We want to keep our apples beautifully, like, you know, crispy and delicious.
Yeah, nice to have a crunch in there.
Yeah, and they're going to pick up a little bit of that fennel flavour, a little bit of the caraway flavour, and it's all going to be yummy. At this stage, we would add the beer.
Yes.
Oh, I forgot about the beer.
Tell us about some of the beer choices at Whole Foods, and what did you bring today?
I bought a dark German beer, just because it's Oktoberfest kind of season. We want to like bring out that rich caramelised, deep beery flavour. And this is all going to, because we've got the pan super hot, the beer's going to pretty much evaporate off. All it's going to do is just like help the cabbage break down a little bit. And if you're not a drinker, you can always add a little bit of water, something like that, that's going to do the same thing.
Mel, I have a question about the bratwurst. I'm surprised, and I don't know why, that Whole Foods has brat. What types of options and choices do you have?
We have like several different bratwursts actually. Most of them come like fully cooked, so you can slice them and add them to a salad or stuff like that. We make them in-house at the Whole Foods market, but these ones are actually from a company called Olympia. And nice. They always come looking like, you know, sometimes it's a veal sausage. The ones that we carry at Whole Foods are all pork.
Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, for those that prefer veal, I'm sure they can source that somewhere out in the real world. So once this starts to go, you'll pretty much that's as good as we want to take it. We'll salt and pepper it, and you'll see, like, look at the colour on the apples. You've got like a beautiful caramelisation from like the fat on those as well.
Can I ask a dumb question?
Go on.
Is it okay to food cooked with beer to kids?
Of course it is.
You said most of it will evaporate.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, you know, at the end of the day, the amount of beer or alcohol you're going to get in there, even if we just like slopped it in and didn't heat it, would be so minimal. But you're going to cook it right off. It's just really just to give that sugary caramelisation and a bit of a beer flavour. But like in terms of giving it to kids, there's not much in there. I wouldn't worry about it. Or if you're really concerned, just omit it. It's not
I've
like
always
we're
wondered
handing
about
out.
that.
Yeah, no.
And dishes with
I
alcohol
think
or
we've
beer.
become very nervous about a whole bunch of stuff that we just need to relax about.
Well, and speaking of
glad to
relaxing,
hear
we were
that.
talking earlier about the brasserie at Whole Foods
Yes.
Market, where people can come up and sit right with you as you're cooking and
Yes.
sit up at the bar. What are some of the options that are available to order?
We have delicious mussels at the brasserie on
nice.
Array. We have delicious lamb merguez sausage. We have a little bit of different stuff. It's kind of French inspired. We do fantastic crepes. But really, it's just about coming and listen to me rattle on.
We love to do that.
Yes, we do.
Which is worth the trip just in itself. You also brought a couple other things here. Will you just take us a little walk through some of these other sides?
This is a German potato salad, super mustardy, little bit of cooked ham in there, delicious flavour. Always butternut squash is back with pecans, cranberries, nutmeg and cinnamon. So very typical kind of fall affair. And remember, Thanksgiving's around the corner, so let the Whole Foods do your catering.
And when should we have orders in for the holidays?
I'm presuming the 1st of the month, the 1st of November will be when stuff starts come rolling out and you can start booking stuff.
That's great. Great option. Always a great reason to come see you at the brasserie at Whole Foods Market.
Yes.
On Honore and University. Thanks for being with us, Chef Mel. Christine and Will, thank you so much. You can see them every weekend at Florida Studio Theater. We are going to dive into fall. You take some time. Enjoy the Suncoast view.